Hello and welcome to episode 18 of Let's Play Scribblenauts. I'm your host, Unique Guy. Let's get rolling with our Christmas episode. Alright, so let's start off with a reindeer, because that seems fairly festive. We'll call this one Comet. And we have to shrink ourselves and said reindeer down. So, let's get moving with that in a Rick Moranis kind of way. Ta-da, we're tiny. Now just to nibble through this rope. And taken care of. Now just with the reindeer we're a little bit too big to fit through the hole. So we're gonna take him away and accidentally get back on. But we almost forgot about our mercenary down there who is going to blow away. Yeah, this game did not have a very good set for Christmas episode, so this will have to do. I'm going to try to be as Christmassy as I can with as few items as there are in this game to work with. So, let's take our Comet and get going. Come on, Comet, let's ride, hopefully. Alright, and we just fly through the thunderstorm and get to the starlight, avoiding the Phoenix. And it's trying to eat the starlight. That might be why they fly. Okay. Let's see what we can do with Puff the Magic Dragon. I know it's not really Christmas themed, but I usually think about it, or at least hear about it more around Christmas time than usual. So, he's gonna take out these fighter planes that are just gonna get in the way and make this even harder. And just simplify the game as much as possible. Alright, so we get him out of the way, and then we jump out of a parachute, because that seems like what Santa should do. Just jump out of a parachute, leave the reindeer running, and make it to his objective. And it actually deploys this time. That's a first. So we're just gonna fall to our doom. Okay, whatever. Next. For those of you who watch Christmas specials, like I'm fairly certain most people do, the monster that was in the I think it was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was a Yeti, or they called it something else. It might have been the Abominable Snowman, but we'll get that to work later. So now we're going to string together some Christmas lights, as most families who decorate their homes do, and just pull it straight here, because everyone enjoys the methods of untangling their Christmas lights before getting them onto the tree. Alright, and one small step before we can jump down there, and that's to create a toy engineer, who shall remain nameless. Yeah. Okay, now for our giant leap down to Starlight, and the camera cannot move fast enough to keep up with Maxwell. This one looks easy enough. Just fall correctly, jump on our platform, which does not do it right away, so we're going to put a Christmas ball on it, or bulb. It's the general Christmas ornament. And now to glitch through this rather than making it an overly complicated puzzle. So, we are going to put the Christmas lights on there and attach it to the platform. Ta-da! Okay. Alright, on that first day of Christmas, we're gonna use an item from Story, so let's make a Partridge, and it seems to be a little bit more cooperative than some of the other birds I've tried to get to do this, because it actually does work. And again, we're gonna use our Christmas lights to make things a little bit easier and save some time. So let's roll on that as we just go again through the floor. And now to set up something to keep us from falling into the pit. let's go with a sleigh. And just hop in and drop our starite. Perfect. And we are totally gonna fall into the floor. Alright, we have a whole bunch of robots. Didn't you all see that Santa versus the angry evil robots? Yeah, me either. So, let's create a pool, because when dealing with robots, it's always good to have a pool of water just lying around. And then we're going to create the abominable snowman from earlier. He is going to throw these robots into the water, because he's a smart snowman. And we just have to race to our star right now. That was a lot easier than it looked. Okay. Man, I'd really like to do something else for you guys, but it keeps giving me options to use Christmas lights to glitch through floors. So instead of working a whole lot harder and using items that aren't totally Christmas related, I'm gonna do my hardest to just make this work, even though it's not nearly as good as I'd like it to be. So we're gonna move on. Hopefully use some different items. Okay, let's see what we have here. Indestructible death on a rope. Fun. So we're gonna make God, because that's what these holidays are all about. It's our deities doing their best to do something or other. And we're gonna need an elf to take care of that switch and slide in. Perfect. And this looks fun. And yeah, the game knows exactly what's going on. So on Dancer, as we dance to the end of the level. I always thought the names for the reindeer were a little off. I mean, there's some that are okay. I mean, you have Comet and Blitzen, but there's just a few that are a little off, especially Cupid, which is for February. They're kind of jumping the gun a little bit. So, and most of all, Prancer here, who's gonna be joining us in a few seconds after I take care of this security camera. That's something that most people don't go out of their way to bother with, but I will. I'm gonna make some candles because they didn't have a menorah in this game, even though they have a Christmas tree, and that's just a little wrong. But anyway, so we're gonna shrink this and create our reindeer, which we'll call Blitzen. Why not? And shrink him down and move along. Just a nice easy stroll to the finish line now. Okay, and for the last little part, we're going to need one more reindeer for the job, and that'll have to be Donner, because fuck Rudolph, I couldn't make a clown nose or a red nose or anything to make it work, to make it even remotely similar. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'm your host, NEQ Guy. Have a happy holidays.